Just because your shoes look dirty, worn, and old doesn't mean that they can't go back to clean, restored, and like new. With these skills and tools in this video, you can easily bring your leather back to life, looking fresh and ready to wear. So if you're looking to renew your leather footwear at home, you're in the right place. Hey friends, my name is Evan, and it's my goal to share the skills and tools needed to love your leather. Today we have a pair of rare Doc Marten 1461 Rainbow Oxfords. These turned out so much better than I anticipated given how chewed up and scuffed up they were, so let me show you exactly how I did it. Let's get to it. First things first, let's remove the laces so that we can thoroughly clean our leather. If you guys follow my 3C's formula for caring for your leather footwear, I guarantee that your shoes will last for years to come. Now, we have a leather flapper here that I want to save, and as you guys can see, the giant gouge on the toe is definitely going to be hard to restore. Unfortunately, there's no way to make it natural again, but we want to make it at least a little better. More on that shortly. I'll be using my favorite leather glue. It's from Phoebing's. It's called Leather Cement, and I'll go ahead and leave all of the links of the products that I'm using in the description. I'll be applying a small amount to the underside of the leather, and I want to make sure that the glue has something to grab onto, like the leather fibers, so that it adheses properly. After that, I'm going to apply a little bit more on the top to cover it to provide as a seal. On to step 2, cleaning, my favorite part. Go ahead and grab your favorite leather cleaner. For best practices, I always put my liquid leather cleaner inside a foam bottle that I purchased from Amazon. Again, links in the description, or check out my kit.co/avummies for all the supplies that I use on my videos. So why is cleaner better in foam form than as a liquid form? Because foam doesn't easily soak into the leather, as well as better lifts dirt from the surface. Leather should never be soaked for multiple reasons that go beyond the scope of this video, but just remember to wipe off your leather from cleaner and water as soon as you can. The cleaner is made to lift off dirt and debris from your leather, not condition it. But don't worry, we'll get to that shortly. Alright, so now once you get your suds going and you wipe it off immediately, repeat as necessary throughout the entire shoe. I usually like to do a section or panels of the leather individually so that I know where I've cleaned, as well as that I make sure to allow limited time for the leather to absorb the cleaner. And as I always say, the shoe tongue is where most of the dirt hides, so you'll definitely want to make sure to give this area an extra good cleaning. Now when it comes to the shoe eyelets, it's vital to clean off the gunk because it can ruin the color of your leather by dyeing it blue or green from the oxidation that builds up on the metal over time. This built up substance is called verdigris. It's not harmful, but it can definitely ruin the color of your leather, like I said. So just get as much as you can off and you'll be good to go. Now I'd say that one of the most underrated tools for anyone who wears leather shoes, which most people do, is a shoe tree. Now you don't have to buy an expensive cedar shoe tree, but it would be wise to fill out your leather with either recycled paper, sometimes I use plastic bags, or stuffing in order to prevent creasing near the toe box when you bend down. Moving forward, when it comes to things like loose threads on your footwear, you want to take care of those before they unravel. This can easily be done by tying them off, or what I typically do is heat seal them with a flame. Simply burn them like a wick and seal them down like so. Ta-da! Now onto conditioning. Most people don't know how vitally important it is to condition their leather. I would say 8 out of 10 people, if not more, simply don't know that your leather even needs to be conditioned at all. They simply wear their leather footwear until it gets old looking and then donate or throw them away. All while leather can literally last a lifetime if properly cared for from the beginning. You guys may think I'm a leather expert, but to be honest, I wasn't always this way. I literally learned as I went just a few years ago. I'm guilty, just like everyone else who didn't know or was too lazy to care about leather. But once I realized how much money, time, and effort it was costing me and my family, I decided to start actively changing the way that I thought and treated the things that I owned. So I hope that this channel not only shows you guys the skills and tools you need to love your leather, but also inspires you to do so. As my Chinese ancestors used to say, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. All right, let's get back to conditioning. Keep in mind that the more oil or waxed-based conditioner you use, the darker your leather will probably become. However, there are conditioners such as Bic 4 that do not darken your leather. Check out the links in the description. Now, in order to get your wax or oil-based conditioners deeper into the leather fibers, I personally like to warm up my leather. This opens the pores and enables the leather to absorb more of the conditioner. Now, disclaimer, I use a heat gun to gently warm up the leather. However, you can seriously ruin your leather by overheating it. So make sure you only warm it up and not overheat your leather. I just go with a warm hairdryer to be safe, and just remember, if it's too hot for your skin, it's probably too hot for the leather. Now when it comes to the bumps, scuffs, scrapes, and gouges on this toe box, we've got a bit of work on our hands. Not everything is going to come out perfectly simply because of the nature of the damage, but that doesn't mean we can't make it at least a little better. Now method 1, we use conditioner to restore the suppleness and potentially even the pigment of the leather without actually adding any dye. Now the second method is to use colored shoe polish like this brown kiwi shoe polish. Just make sure it matches the color of your leather in order to get the desired results. And as you can see, I'm actually warming up the shoe polish again to try to get those lightened areas darker to match the surrounding leather grain. Now looking back at this, I think it would have been better that I dyed the area in order to get the right color before I glued down the flap, because as you guys can see, it's not actually easily absorbing the polish or the dyes, so definitely avoid this mistake. Now method 3 is a little bit more complicated, but it is using a alcohol-based leather dye. This is a more advanced method to restore your leather, but some projects may require it. And as you can see, I am just adding that dye and then some more polish just to, again, try to get the color back on the toe where the scuffs were. Seems like I'm having a bit of a problem, but we'll see what we can do. Now, a little hack you guys may not have known about when it comes to polishing and shining up your leather is using a little bit of cold water or an ice cube to harden the wax to get an easier and faster shine. I'll be doing that here to wrap things up nicely. And once you've added enough polish to your liking, go ahead and let it dry properly. And then after that, it's time to brush it to give it that beautiful like new shine. Simply grab yourself a horsehair shining brush and vigorously but gently move back and forth in one place until you visibly see the leather shine up. As I always note, it's about friction, not force. The way you get a shine is by heating up the waxes and spreading them out with a brush or cotton cloth, not by pushing hard. Now that our leather is all shined up, let's go ahead and put on our laces, and we are almost finished. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me as we clean these Doc Martens. I hope that you found this video super helpful and maybe even a bit inspiring for your own shoe care routine. If you guys enjoyed watching, please consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing, and of course, don't forget to share it with your shoe-loving friends who might appreciate some tips. Check out these videos next, and as always, remember to love your leather.